At 11:47 a.m. on May 29, 1943, Captain James Hartwell climbed into the cockpit of his YB-40 at RAF Alconbury. He watched the ground crew load the last belt of .50 caliber ammunition into the bomber's 17th gun position. He was 26, with 42 combat missions under his belt, but had zero experience flying this modified aircraft. The YB-40 weighed 4,000 pounds more than any B-17 he had flown. In the 3 months prior, the 8th Air Force had lost 173 B-17 seconds over Europe. Without long-range fighter escorts, German interceptors slaughtered bomber formations on the return from deep Reich targets. Focke-Wulf 190 seconds attacked from 12 high, where nose guns couldn't track fast enough. Me 109 seconds dove through formations, picking off stragglers. Crews called it the Gauntlet. Half never completed 25 missions. The solution seemed obvious. If fighters couldn't escort bombers all the way, turn a bomber into a fighter. Army Air Force engineers stripped everything from a B-17 that didn't shoot. Bombs gone. Bombardier Station converted into a twin, .50 caliber chin turret. A second dorsal turret installed behind the radio room. Waist guns replaced with twin mounts. Cheat guns added to the forward fuselage. Ammunition capacity tripled to 11,275 rounds. Additional armor welded to crew positions. 16. .50 caliber guns on one aircraft. They called it the YB-40, the Flying Destroyer. Douglas aircraft completed 12 conversions by March. The 92nd Bombardment Group at Alconbury received them in early May. Colonel William Reed selected 7 crews for the first combat test. Hartwell received aircraft 42 to 5,738, nicknamed Hedgehog. The weight made everything wrong. Standard B-17Fs climbed to 20,000 feet in 25 minutes. The YB-40 needed 48. The control yoke felt heavy, sluggish. Test pilots warned the center of gravity was off with all that ammunition behind the bomb bay. But the guns Hartwell had never seen firepower like it. The chin turret alone could shred a Focke-Wulf before it reached firing range. Every approach vector covered, every angle met with overlapping fields of fire. The mission brief was simple. Escort the main formation to Saint-Nazaire and attack the submarine pens. 7 YB-40 seconds positioned in the most vulnerable spots. Low squadron, trail element, anywhere German fighters love to hunt. Hartwell started the engines at 1:25 p.m. All 4 Wright Cyclones ran smoothly. The control tower cleared them for takeoff at 1:50. Hedgehog rolled down the runway with 168 B-17 seconds following. Target time, 4 p.m. By 3:30 p.m., the formation reached the French coast. Flak bursts dotted the sky over Guernsey. Radio chatter confirmed German fighters scrambling from Rennes airfields. Hartwell's flight engineer reported fuel consumption higher than briefed. The YB-40 burned more climbing to altitude. At 4:02 p.m., the main formation dropped their bombs and turned for home. Empty B-17Fs climbed faster and accelerated quicker. Hartwell pushed the throttles forward. Hedgehog began falling behind, struggling at 148 miles per hour while the formation pulled away at 160. Technical Sergeant Paul Morrison, 31, checked engine instruments, shaking his head. Cylinder 3 was overheating. He throttled back before it seized. Hedgehog slowed to 142 miles per hour. The main formation was 3 miles ahead. The other 6 YB-40 seconds struggled at the rear of their groups, all falling behind. Contrails appeared at 4 o'clock high. German Focke-Wulf, 190 seconds from Vannes, 6 to 8 aircraft hunting stragglers. Hartwell keyed the intercom. All gunners tracked targets. The chin turret reported clear visibility. Ball and waist turrets confirmed loaded and tracking. The first FW-190 dove from 5, range 1,200 yards. Tail gunner opened fire at 800 yards. The German pilot broke off, climbing away without firing. Another pair attacked from 11 high. The chin turret fired a 4-second burst. Black smoke poured from the lead for 190. It rolled inverted and plunged toward the channel. The waist gunner confirmed the kill. For 6 minutes, the YB-40's firepower worked perfectly. 3 more attacks broke off early under the wall of lead, but Hedgehog was still slowing. The main formation was 6 miles ahead, then 7. Hartwell could barely see the bomber stream. Fuel remaining, 90 minutes to Alconbury. The formation would be on the ground in 70. Another 2 for 190 seconds appeared at 2 o'clock. This time they pressed the attack. The YB-40 couldn't climb fast enough or run. Hartwell pushed the throttles forward. Engine 3 temperature rose again. The attack came at 4:43 p.m. 3 for 190 seconds from different vectors. High right, low left, dead ahead. Hartwell couldn't evade. The YB-40 turned like a freight train. Gunners opened fire simultaneously. Chin turret forward, top turret right, ball turret left. Waist gunners firing through opposite windows. The lead foe 190 canopy shattered. It rolled and fell away. The low attacker fired a 2-second burst. 20 mm. Rounds tore through Hedgehog's right wing, severing one hydraulic line. Waist gunner reported fluid spraying. Right landing gear hydraulic system failed. Both YB-40 seconds were now stragglers over occupied France. Fuel running low, engines hot. Captain Richard Hayes in 42 to 5741 fell behind to join Hedgehog. Combined firepower from 32 guns discouraged the Germans temporarily. At 5:07 p.m., they crossed the French coast outbound, 53 miles to England, 41 minutes at current speed. Engine 3 overheated. Morrison had throttled back twice already. Hedgehog descended to 18,600 feet. Hayes's number 2 engine showed low oil pressure. He throttled back. Both crews watched fuel tick toward empty, hoping fighters wouldn't follow over water. At 5:22 p.m., 2 Mi-109 seconds appeared at 6 o'clock high, following stragglers to the channel. Tail gunner Raymond Cack opened fire at 400 yards. Cannon shells tore through Hedgehog's tail. The horizontal stabilizer took a direct hit. Controls went mushy. Morrison confirmed elevator cables intact, but the trim tab jammed. Hartwell fought the yoke all the way to England. At 5:31 p.m., 4 P-47 Thunderbolts appeared, responding to radio calls. The German pilots veered east. P-47 seconds formed up on the YB-40 seconds, escorting them to the coast. Fuel remaining, 37 minutes. Distance to landfall, 29 miles. Hedgehog would make it barely. Hartwell realized the concept had failed. The YB-40 worked perfectly as a gun platform, but the weight made it useless as an escort. After dropping bombs, standard B-17 seconds climbed faster. YB-40 seconds lagged, carrying 11,000 rounds of ammunition, 4,000 extra pounds dragging them down, making them targets. Hayes feathered a seized engine and landed at RAF Manston on 3 engines. Hedgehog returned to Alconbury at 6:18 p., cranking the landing gear manually, with 16 bullet holes, a jammed trim tab, a damaged stabilizer, and a severed hydraulic line. Colonel Reed asked Hartwell for an assessment. His answer, "It can't keep. Up." 7 more missions followed. June 15th, 4 YB-40 seconds attacked Lama. All fell behind. June 22nd, 11 YB-40 seconds targeted the IG Farben plant. 1 lost, the rest limped home. Engineers tried modifications, adjusting waist gun feeds, moving weight forward, changing ammunition loading. Nothing worked. Standard B-17F, 65,000 pounds at takeoff, 48,000 after dropping bombs. YB-40, 68,000 at takeoff, 64,000 after combat. Extra guns and ammo made it slower and vulnerable. June 28th, 6 YB-40 seconds attacked Saint-Nazaire. 1 German fighter destroyed, all fell behind on return. Crews reported being alone over France for 43 minutes, vulnerable and exposed. Statistics: 48 sorties, 5 confirmed kills, 2 probable, 1 lost. Every aircraft fell behind post-bomb drop. Average separation, 7 miles, 38 minutes alone. German pilots quickly learned YB-40 seconds were easy targets once the bombers dropped. The concept failed. July 29th. Final combat mission. U-boat yards at Kiel. 2 aircraft fell behind, required fighter escort, landed at emergency fields. August, General Karl Spaatz cancelled the program. November, all 12 surviving aircraft returned to the US. Most became gunnery trainers. A few stripped back to standard B-17 seconds. The $5.6 million program, 12 aircraft, 3 months, failed as an escort system. Yet, one innovation survived, the chin turret. Reports showed frontal engagement stopped attacks. 2. 50 caliber guns, remote controlled from the bombardier position, electrically powered traverse and elevation, 300 rounds per gun. Douglas installed the turret on the last 86 B-17 FDLs in production. Crews called it the answer to 12 high attacks. 190 seconds had killed more B-17 seconds with frontal attacks than any other method. The chin turret eliminated gaps, full forward coverage, allowed bombardiers to track and fire, stopping attacks dead in their tracks. Combat reports confirmed the change. November missions, 12 frontal attacks, 10 broke off, 1 full 190 destroyed, 0 bombers, lost. Boeing incorporated the chin turret into the B-17G production model. First B-17G rolled off in December 1943. Factories in Seattle, Wichita, Long Beach, Tulsa, Burbank ramped production. 50 aircraft, month in January 1944. 120 inches March, 230 inches June. Total delivered before April 1,945, 8,680 B-17Gs, all with chin turrets. Impact. 303rd Bomb Group transitioned in February 1944. Frontal attack losses dropped from 12% to 3%. 379th, 11% to 4%. 384th, 43 bombers lost in 6 months pre-turret. 14 inches 12 months post-turret. Overall reduction in bomber losses to frontal attacks, 71%. B-17G flew in 26 heavy bombardment groups in Europe, 4 in Italy, 2 in the Pacific, 32 groups total, 1,536 aircraft on standard missions, 290,000 combat sorties. Chin turret fired in 114,000 missions, saving an estimated 2,300 crews. 2 other YB-40 innovations survived. Staggered waist guns. Right waist gun moved forward 30 inches. Gunners no longer collided. Fields of fire improved 40%. Engagements lasted 27 seconds instead of 12. Tail gunner position. Cheyenne tail redesign increased visibility, armor, and gun mounting, became standard in late B-17G production. Captain Hartwell flew 16 more missions in standard B-17Fs, completed his tour in October 1943, never flew a YB-40 again. In December, he returned to Alconbury as a training officer, showing crews the chin turret, explaining its operation and field of fire, emphasizing its origin from the failed YB-40 program. The YB-40 program lasted 3 months, flew 48 combat sorties, claimed 5 kills, cost $5.6 million, and failed as an escort. Yet it produced 3 life-saving innovations: chin turret, staggered waist guns, Cheyenne tail. They saved thousands of bomber crews. No YB-40 survives. All were scrapped or used as trainers. One appeared in a 1946 film, The Best Years of Our Lives. History forgets failures. It remembers success. The YB-40 failed spectacularly, but its chin turret went on to protect crews in 8,680 B-17Gs, preventing frontal attacks and saving lives. Failures teach lessons that successes cannot. The YB-40 proved that good ideas poorly executed still contain good ideas. Boeing engineers studied the combat reports, Chin turret worked, weight didn't. They kept the turret, dropped the weight simple, effective, life-saving. Captain Hartwell looked at the gleaming B-17G chin turret and thought about frontal attacks. W-190 seconds diving through formations, bombers surviving due to that turret. Worth it, he said. Every mission, every dollar, every bullet hole in Hedgehog's fuselage. The YB-40 taught how to fail forward. The last mission flew the 29th of July 1943, program cancelled in August. By November, all 12 surviving aircraft returned to the US. The flying destroyer disappeared from history. The innovation lived. Chin turrets, staggered waist guns, Cheyenne tail, saving lives on every mission, shaping the B-17 into a safer, more formidable bomber, proving that even failure can create victory.